Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here at MetroEast Community Media in Gresham, Oregon. Glad you joined us tonight. We're going to start off talking with the Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon. They have all sorts of things going on in the community, but specifically tonight we'll talk about the Rockwood Farmers Market. So with me to represent Ecumenical Ministries is Jenny Holmes. You are the project director of the Rockwood Food Opportunity. Welcome.
Welcome.
And Anna Burnham, you are the Food Justice Coordinator. Yeah, nice to have you here.
Thanks, good to be here.
Yeah, well, now Ecumenical Ministries they do so many different things. Can you give us a little bit of history and maybe tell us what the mission is of the organization?
Sure. Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon has been around for about 40 years, and its predecessor organizations were around about 60 years before that. So
Wow.
There's a long history. It is an association of congregations, denominations, ecumenical and interfaith organizations all around the state who are working together to improve the lives of Oregonians. And we have a focus on community ministries, public policy, particularly focused on poverty, hunger, housing, healthcare.
So you do advocacy work?
We do some advocacy work. We bring people of faith together to advocate on issues of common concern for the most vulnerable in our communities. And we also provide community ministries that range from housing to emergency food, to healthcare and many others, refugee resettlement. So it's a pretty
Great
wide
need for all
spectrum.
of that. Yeah.
And we're driven by our values to live out our faith in very tangible ways in the public square and in our communities.
I like that. That's a lot of pressure there. Yeah. Behave in a certain way because I'm representing this organization. I mean, that's great. That's actually living your ministry. So tell me about your work in East County, because we are air all throughout Multnomah County, but specifically East County. There's been a lot of issues lately that have come up with the gentrification of Northeast Portland, people moving out here, the huge immigrant population that we have here. I was recently told that there's 88 different languages spoken in East County, which is huge. And it's very difficult for people to deal with that, to know how to help those who don't speak the same language, and for those people to learn their way and navigate through the system. What kinds of things have you been able to do for East County?
Yes, well, we've been interested in what's been going on in East County for at least the past 10 years, noticing the shifts in population, being more aware of some of the issues with accessing healthy, culturally appropriate food at affordable prices. And we've been focused on the concept of community food systems for over 17 years.
You're kind of ahead of the time.
Yeah.
Really?
We had some conferences, a whole series of conferences, annual conferences called A Place at the Table, where we explore different food issues. Our goal was to help, especially the faith community, start thinking beyond just hunger relief, because once a person is fed, you haven't really solved the whole problem.
Right. And there's been a lot of food pantries and that kind of thing, which was great, and people need them, but you're going beyond that.
That's right. We're trying to facilitate that move from charity to justice. The two go together. We need both. We do both at Ecumenical Ministries, and most people of faith would say that those are two things that you hold in balance and in tension with each other. Because we have immediate needs that we need to serve, and we also have long-term issues that we need to begin working on in a more systematic and systemic way in our communities.
Very well said. So, Anna, how do you fit into all this? What is your role as a food justice coordinator?
Sure. So I just recently graduated college, and
nice job.
I am an AmeriCorps volunteer and a Jesuit volunteer, so I'm doing a year of service. And I've always really loved food and kind of the cultural significance and nutrition and everything surrounding food. And so this position really appealed to me. I like the title Food Justice Coordinator. It just really kind of seemed to encapsulate everything I wanted to do. And my role, I have several different roles within the Rockwood Food Opportunity Project. I help run a community garden up on 196 in Gleason. That has a really culturally diverse gardening group, which is really cool to experience and get to know those people and their stories. And then my big project has been the Rockwood Farmers Market, which is opening this Friday. It's very scary.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready. But yes, we're going to open as part of Rock the Block. So it'll be really great to get that publicity right away and that kind of immediate customer base. And yeah, it's been a really long process. It's kind of crazy that it's finally starting.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And having it correspond with the Rock the Block event is brilliant, actually, because that's a huge event in the Rockwood community. I mean, it's only its third year, but really last year I saw all these community resources, organizations coming together to get the word out about what they do, and it was very impressive. So I think adding the farmers market will be beautiful.
Yeah.
And so the farmers market's going to be on Fridays, is that right?
Yeah, it's going to be Fridays from 3 to 7 p.m. every Friday until the end of October, and we're at Plaza del Sol, which is Southeast 187th and Stark. And we're just really excited to create more community space. I think, like you spoke to that with the success of Rock the Block, there's clearly a craving in East County for really healthy and very family-friendly community spaces and events, and we're really hoping the market can do that. We had a community forum on the farmers market back in February, just kind of asking people what they wanted. And more than anything, obviously people want produce and fresh food, but more than anything is just that kind of creation of a community space, which we're hoping that the farmers market can be for people. So
I hope so too. I know that people that have needed to get food from food pantries and whatnot, they've had trouble in the past being able to get that fresh food, the fresh produce.
Yeah.
So now SNAP, you can use your card and people can get the fresh produce at the farmers market. Is that right?
Yes, we have everything set up so we can accept SNAP. People bring their SNAP card, we give them tokens, and they can use those tokens at all the vendors. And we're really pleased to have support for the SNAP match. We'll do the first $5 of every purchase. Thanks to Whole Foods Market, thanks to the Farmers Market Fund and Umpqua Bank for Rock the Block. So, and I think we just had another congregation that came on board.
yeah, we had a congregation who just kind of heard about us in a newsletter, and they have a monthly kind of women's group, and they just kind of decided to give half of their monthly donation to the SNAP match. And I don't know, it's really cool, that kind of community rallying around the values and the morals of the market, and people want more access.
I'm sure they do. If another organization wanted to do something similar, you can use the funds, I assume.
Oh yes, definitely.
That was very emphatic. Yeah.
We definitely can.
And what about volunteers? Are you in need of volunteers for this project?
Yeah, we are definitely in need of volunteers. There's a lot of infrastructure with the farmers market, so just set up, tear down, that's going to be a huge thing. And then just kind of greeters at the market is always good. Greet people as they enter the space, hand out flyers. And another huge need we have is, we really want it to be kind of a hub for community resources. So we're hoping to do classes or workshops,
Like food,
food
cooking
demos,
demonstrations?
Anything. If anybody wants to give a workshop in some sort of dance, or
Why not? Why not?
yeah, exactly.
Well, those things draw people to the markets.
Yeah, and we're really looking for. That's Bay. That's one of our vendors.
So this is at the Plaza del Sol.
yeah,
Yes,
so we had a
that's
pilot market back in October, just
okay.
kind of a test run to get everything on the on the space,
Right.
work out the kinks. That's one of our vendors.
Look at
Bay.
those flowers.
Yeah, the flowers are a huge hit. People absolutely loved them.
Yeah.
But definitely a need for volunteers would be set up, tear down, and people sharing their skills and talents.
Yeah,
Be
I like that idea. They look like they're having fun.
Oh yeah. That's Tito. He's one of our craft vendors. He's going to be back this year, so we're
Good,
excited to
good.
have him.
That would be really great for people of different cultures to be able to share their, their recipes, maybe from
Yes.
from their countries, from their homelands.
Yeah, and that's absolutely one of the best things about Rockwood is the cultural diversity.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It really needs to be tapped into, and again, we're kind of hoping the market will be that space.
Good. So what can we expect if we? What were the hours again? You said on Fridays.
3 to 7
3
p.m.
to 7. Okay. So I show up at the market. What can I expect? How many vendors? Do you have a rough estimate of how many you're going to have there?
Sure, yeah. Right now we have about 9 vendors and we're growing.
Okay. So there's room for more.
There's
Oh,
definitely
yes.
room for
Okay.
more.
Okay. So that's important to know. Yeah.
And something really unique about our market is that we have a lot of farmers just starting out, which is pretty unique.
What an opportunity for them.
Yeah, and so they are very willing to grow what the people in the community want, which is really unique, we think.
Supply and demand.
Yeah,
mention that.
yeah. So we had some great farm visits last Wednesday, went out to the spaces, and they were very emphatic about wanting to grow what people want to buy. I mean, it makes sense for them. So we're kind of growing with our vendors, which we think is pretty cool and really unique.
Yeah, it's kind of a different model. A lot of local, I mean, is it pretty much people centered around East County, or how far do your vendors come?
Yeah, we're definitely very committed to local. Most of our vendors do actually come from Gresham or Pass. We have a couple from Corbett. The farthest south we have is Oregon City. So it is very hyper-local food, and it's going to be fresh and delicious.
Good. Yeah. So you talked about encourage people maybe to dance or whatever at their market. Will you have some kind of entertainment there periodically? Have you looked into that? Is that part of the whole plan?
This is definitely an appeal if anybody's looking for a space to play.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. We're open to all kinds of music. Anybody who just kind of wants to come play on a Friday afternoon.
This sounds like a great opportunity for budding musicians, for farmers starting out, for people who want to volunteer. You've got a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah.
And to share your recipes from when you were growing up or whatever. Yeah, it's a good opportunity. So if people are interested in being part of it, go to the website.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about the food justice part of this. Explain to me how this all ties in. How does a farmer's market help address those issues?
Well, one of our primary reasons for doing the farmers market in Rockwood was because a grassroots group of community members went out and surveyed their neighbors in the fall of 2014, and they did very thorough surveys. Had long conversations with people in their neighborhood in various apartment complexes throughout Rockwood, and they found that one of the most wanted food resources that people didn't have, that they wanted to have, was a farmer's market. And so we are following up on that desire of the community. And also with the Catalyst site in the middle of Gresham, the triangle off of where Burnside site and Stark come together. There's a lot happening there right now with the City of Gresham's redevelopment commission.
Right. That's going to be something fun and exciting, and a whole community development there.
Yeah, and trying to create a food ecosystem there. Was an incentive for us to work with the city, to work through all of the different permitting processes and so forth, which can be a bit daunting at times, to have it there in the heart of Rockwood, where there used to be a grocery store.
Right.
And begin developing that relationship of farmers and food producers to that site. We envision people that have a recipe and want to develop a food business starting out there, and then maybe expanding, maybe having a restaurant or creating a food product that is sold maybe even throughout the Northwest or throughout the world. But we consider it an incubator for potential businesses that will bring jobs to the community.
One. Start a business, there you go. Before we run out of time, school kids, can they come and tour the market? I mean, I know that you'll mostly be during the summertime, or if daycares or a Boys and Girls Club. If, would you be open to people coming and sharing that with the kids? Because I think educating kids about where their food comes from is pretty important.
Yes, and we hope with some funding next year that we will be able to adopt the Market Sprouts program that was developed by the Beaverton Farmers Market. They've given us permission to use their curriculum. Yeah. And it's a great. And
is that the focus of it? Educating?
Yeah, I agree. Like, there's so much need to educate kids on, like, hey, this is a vegetable and it's delicious, and this is the farmer who grew it, and I think that's an incredible opportunity. So we'd really love to have, kind of maybe day camps or field trips from daycares or something. Really hoping to boost up the children's activity kind of capacity of the market. We have a lot of really great ideas.
It sounds very exciting. And we're out of time, but I really appreciate you both coming on, because it sounds like a great project and a huge, wonderful, positive addition to the Rockwood community.
Thanks
So
for having
thanks.
us.
You
Thank
bet.
you very
You
much.
bet. Thanks for watching Community Hotline. This segment is all about being part of your community. So, you know where you can volunteer, you know where you can donate, you know how to become part of it by listening to these ladies here. And don't go away. We'll be right back with more of Community Hotline.
Here to shoot my documentary was more than I ever would have dreamed of doing.
This is a community media station.
It was phenomenal.
Ready, camera, one.
What is it about this place that makes so many different people come together?
Ready, camera, two.
Very professional, experienced people.
You can use these industry standard pieces of equipment.
Ready, camera, three. Take three.
You don't have to be rich to do this.
Open people's eyes to something they've never even thought of before.
Cool stuff happens. It becomes this community.
That's going to really change who's telling the stories and who's controlling the messaging.